Let's do this. Next up, we have Purgatori by Koraii, featured in Geometry Dash. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, support this channel as much as you want. Disclaimers, 2 of them. 1, this is my first time hearing this track, so I will be pausing a lot, as I will be pointing things out as I hear them. Number 2, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. So I might stumble upon my words, whatever happens, happens. Anyway, let's do this. Let's see what you got. Purgatori by Koraii. Let's go. Make sure paint is, yeah. Okay, so I didn't want to stop the track at the first like 5 seconds. It was like, yeah, we got a note. Analysis. So yeah, we start with this very, very slow beat. This is very deceptive because it might throw off what our tempo is. So tempo is let me just where's my paint? Here we go. So tempo is the measure in which we describe how fast the measures are going to be. So let me start from the beginning here. In music, you have 3 components: melody, harmony, rhythm. These are like the 3 meta components of music. Rhythm is the use of time, how fast or slow things happen, when they happen, duration, placement, all that kind of thing. And these are subdivided into bars or measures. These 2 are equal. These are 2 interchangeable terms. You can say bars, you can say measures. It's the same thing. And the speed of these is determined by something called tempo, or beats per minute. So let me go through the concept of a time signature to understand this, right? So in the case of bars and measures, the way we subdivide it and determine the subdivisions, how long they last, what our beats are going to be, we use a time signature. Time signature is made out of 2 numbers: upper number, lower number. Upper number is the number of beats. Lower number is the type of beats and notes that you can get. In English, it's pretty easy to remember. So whole notes is 1, half notes is 2, quarter notes is 4, eighth notes 8, 16th notes 16. Imagine this is an 8, right? Like this drop. There you go. 16th notes are 16, etc., etc. So in this case, 4/4 equals 4 quarter notes in a single measure, and you count them 1 through 4 because there are 4. You count 1 through 4, and then you start over. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Speak, welcome today. How you doing? It's okay. I forgive you. So how do you determine how fast these go, however? You do that with tempo, or beats per minute. Tempo is the measure that used to be used before the invention of the metronome. The metronome is what we use for determining beats per minute. So if we are talking 60 beats per minute, that is 1 beat per second. The most common BPM that exists is 120 BPM, which is 120 beats per minute, or 2 beats every 1 second. And this can go all over the place. Before that, we used to have expressions. Yeah, such as before that, tempo used to be stuff like allegro, to mean like somewhat fast, around 120 BPM. We used to have things like legato, or no, lento, legato, no, not legato, lagiato. I think it's lagiato, lagiato, vivace. We have a bunch of these expressions, most of them Italian, to give you like a, like just a feeling. Because back in the day, we didn't have these machines to be able to tell with precision the BPM. However, now we have something like this. So why am I bringing this up? Because what Koraii is doing here is deceptive. Koraii is holding a note, is playing a single note, and it could be in a variety of beats per minute, but because there's only one note being played every few bars, or we don't know if it's just one bar, we don't know entirely what the connotation is, it is giving us the illusion that it's slower. And now that we got the initial, I think it's, I don't know if it's a keyboard or a guitar, it kind of sounded like in between, and we got that going on, we got a little bit more rhythm now going for this. So, let's see where this goes. It is a keyboard. Yeah, it's a keyboard. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're having this somewhat slow, somewhat very lovely tone, and we can hear that same beat consistently landing. Authorities, welcome to the day. I had to turn off blurps because of some authentication issue. I had to turn them off, but yeah, that's why I didn't play, because I had to turn them off. So yes, we're having this, and we are having, hang on, I need to look up time expressions. Music time expressions. Because I just want to make sure that I did get Lagiato right. Come on. I just need. Okay, so here it is. Andante is the one that I was thinking. Lagiato, no, I was thinking larghetto. There you go. I just wanted to correct myself. So these are the expressions that we had, along with the approximate beats per minute that we have. So the most common ones were moderato, allegro, andante, which meant like walking, marching pace. Adagio, this is the slow one. Right now we are between adagio and maybe andante in the terms for this. Yeah, not lagiato. I was just mixing up larghetto with adagio. So there you go. I needed to correct myself because I knew something was wrong there. So yes, you can go from larghissimo, which is extremely slow, all the way to prestissimo, which is extremely fast. And it used to be that way because there was no way of figuring that out before. So there you go. Yeah, adagio sostenuto, that's like a sustained slow. Like some of these start getting more complicated because it's not just about how fast or how slow, but also the feeling that you want out of the music. So in this case, I would put this one probably at an adagio, between an adagio and a moderato. So somewhere in between. Let's see where this goes. And the keyboard is also giving us very lovely chords, and the top note of the melody is giving us our motif right now. The motif being the smallest version of our musical idea, the essence, the seed from which everything else comes from, right? I am just happy that I corrected myself with the time signatures, because yeah, I was mixing cables there, so I'm glad I corrected myself. So yes, let's see. Yeah, motifs can be incredible, and in this case, we are getting let's see. We change. Three major changes here. Number one, we have changed the keyboard to be kind of like the Super Mario 64 Piranha Plant is sleeping friggin' synth. This is a very specific tone. This one is a very, very specific tone. And if you played Super Mario 64, you know exactly the type that I'm talking about. Like, whenever you found one of those piranha plants, and you had to sneak around those in Mario 64, it was this same tone of keyboard. But now we have this, right? And the slow beat that was playing, like the note that was being played at the start of every measure or every other measure, now is being held. Now it is being held. And we are including some sort of audio sample. Sounds like backwards and forwards speech of some sort of woman being panned back and forth between the two ears, so bouncing back and forth between the two ears. And it sounds somewhat incoherent. To me, it sounds like it's back and forth. So we are having, basically, in audio, you can do this thing, right? Like you have your audio file over here, and you have your sound note, and you can tell the software, okay, we're going to make it sound like this plays backwards. So we're going to select this, and we're going to flip it horizontal. And now all the audio waves, like, it's surprising how much of the audio waves that go forward sound weird when you play them backwards. So if you play them backwards like this, it's going to sound very unnatural and everything. That's how you can get a lot of like the creepy stuff. And what I think is happening here is we are using the first half going forward, and then the second half we are doing backward. And we're just splicing them together and giving it this kind of like palindromic aspect of it while bouncing them between the two. And the thing about tempo is, yes, tempo can change and tempo can be meaningless, because at this point it could be that yes, our tempo is allegro vivace, which means super fucking fast. And how do we achieve this music sounding so low? We just say, okay, just play throughout several measures. Just hold the chord throughout several measures. So the melody was in half notes? It could be. It could be. So depending on how Koraii designed this, because there are many, many ways of writing this down. There are many ways of writing this down, because a 4/4 measure is the same as a 2/2 measure. However, a 4/4 measure at 120 beats per minute will last around the same as an 4/8 measure at 60 beats per minute, because we are making the eighth notes last twice as long. It's going to basically be the same in both cases. So there are many ways that you can combine these things, because at the end of the day, time signature, key signature, beats per minute, all of this is just about communication. How you communicate and how you set things up. There are many ways of describing a table. That's how I imagine it. If you ask somebody to write down the description of a table, whatever you want, you will have a wide range of preferences, perspectives, priorities, everything, and something like that happens in music as well. You can have the same music being written in many, many different ways, and it's going to sound the same thing, but people just chose to write it differently. So, yes, let's see where this may or may not be one of the longest LFAs. The longest we have, I think, is an hour 15 minutes. So, let's see where this goes. Regarding those. So yeah, the audio. So yeah, some of it is forward, some of it is backwards. We are escalating the motif. We're entering cadence territory. Not yet, Rinses. Welcome to the day. Not yet. Okay, so we have this moment of kind of like backwards laughter, like backwards and forwards laughter. We're using this whole thing of using backwards sound waves, and now we jump into the beat, the drop. That was nice. Let's see. I explained a lot, Ninja. That's what happened. Oh, and we took the audio sample of that like pseudo laughter and we replaced it with the kind of like alarm thing that we had. Let's see the bass is very nice here. The bass is really nice. Let's see. Okay, I see what's going on. The bass line right now is doing a similar motif to what we were having with those chords. It's a more compressed version, and it's faster, a little bit faster, and a little bit smoother, and without the chords, but it is almost the same motif. It's almost the same motif. This is nice, man. This is nice. The overused meme, yeah, I have no idea what that is. So yeah, what's this bass going down a bit? How's that called? That could be that could be a slide, that could be a detune, that could be pretty much anything. But basically, it is that idea of going downwards and landing to smooth out the landing. There are many ways that you can achieve this. A bend as well. You can do note bends, because if you have a physical bass, you can just bend the string, make it sound like whoa. So yeah, no, there are many ways that this can be achieved in. So let's see. Yeah, it's getting a bend, keeping the similar. I like it. So now we are grabbing sounds that are usually used in horror game soundtracks, and we are sprinkling them around and using them as percussion. So, yeah. Sounds like a detune. It could be a detune. In this case, it sounds like a bend going back, up and down. So let's see. Is that triplets? The tempo might have changed. Yep, there we go. So yeah, now we are using this higher synth that is sounding like very obnoxious. Is sounding like this, and this is doing something called octave displacement. So an octave displacement, not entirely a flying melody, but it could be. However, the interesting thing right now is this very screechy sounding synth that we just got. It's doing what is called octave displacement. So octave displacement is a really cool thing to do if you know how to do it right. Basically, we are taking our motif, and our motif is going to be in a scale. In a musical scale. So let's say, let's for the sake of simplicity, let's say that your scale is made of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the octave we repeat again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Because most scales in existence are made out of 7 notes, at least in Western music, right? So let's say our melody goes note 1, 2, 3, then back to 1, down to 7. That's too complicated. Let's say our melody goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, what is octave displacement? Octave displacement is when we take portions of the melody and we move them to a different octave. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 repeat themselves in what is called the octave, and they will continue repeating themselves in different octaves. So how do we make this melody 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more interesting in this way? Well, 1, 2 up here, 3 down here, 4 up here, 5 up here. And now we are getting this bouncing back and forth. It's the same notes. It's technically the same melody, but now we are getting this very wild bouncing back and forth. So this synth is doing that while at the same time doing what is called a reduction. A reduction is when you take a motif or some sort of musical idea and you compress it to play over a shorter period of time. So we had this melody that would take several measures to complete. Then the bass line had the same thing, going several measures to be able to complete, and now it's being completed in half a measure. Same amount of notes, and we've engaged an octave displacement, and that's why it's sounding very much like it's bouncing back and forth, up and down, very unstable, but it is still kind of the same melody. So, let's see where this goes. And the rhythm is very erratic. Let me record one of them. So yeah, we had a good chunk of repetitions there. Very good. Very good. Just letting you completely soak in everything, letting the bass line play out, adding a bunch of drama to everything. And right now we're about to transition into the next area. We went off the ramp, going off the ramp, colloquial term that I use, colloquial, no academic term or official term, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of using it. But it's not chaotic, and most importantly, this is not random. This is just different composition techniques. My guess here, because I could be wrong, is that Koraii engaged in octave displacement for that very loud siren-like synth. And that's what made it sound so erratic. Because it was very fast, it was very loud, and it was engaging in octave displacement. That is my hypothesis. Let's see where this goes. Off the ramp we've gone, which off the ramp means you make the listener feel like they're going off, suspended up in the air, going off a ramp, kind of waiting to see where we land. How did we do this? We removed the drums as well as the bass, and now we have bells. Let's see where this goes. Which, again, bells are another thing with instrumentation and orchestration. So when it comes to instrumentation and orchestration, it is the study of picking the right instruments, the right sounds for the right reasons, not just the right texture and the right sound waves or whatever, but also for the psychological aspect of it. What do we associate bells with? We can associate bells with something definitive or final. You will hear bells at a church, when usually you will have that for death. You will have that for marriages. You will have that for many things, but they are usually very definitive, final kind of thing. Bell curves, that's a different thing. So we are having bells now, which in this context, very horror themed, like very spooky themed. It is the sound of death, of incoming death, for whom the bell tolls, that kind of thing, right? Judgment Day, like it's all the association, it's all right here in your mind. That is all because we know we have associated this almost instinctively at this point. It is a cultural thing, at least throughout the West, that bells usually means a big deal, and many times it means death. So we take advantage of that, especially when it comes to like the lower sounding bells. Organs are usually associated with the institution, the higher than thou. Usually like, the institution of the church or the academic conservatories, that kind of thing. Because, you can fit a piano almost anywhere. You need to design entire buildings around a pipe organ. Like, those things are a massive feat of architecture and engineering. So, yeah, it all comes back to the church. Yeah, because the church had a lot of power throughout history. So yeah, bell can be solemnity as well. So there are many things that we can associate bells with, but in this case, whenever it is, whenever we are talking about horror, it's usually associated with death, especially the lower end of the bells. Higher end of the bells are going to be like more for weddings, a little bit like more bright sounding bells are going to be more for weddings, the happy moments kind of thing. Lower sounding bells are going to be for like funerals, death, all that kind of stuff. So it all has its different variations, and organs are usually done for you're way above your pay grade here by yourself kind of thing. Let's continue. And the bells are being distorted to build up for something. Okay, so we bring back the keyboard from the first time, and I think this is the melody that was being played by the synth in the octave displacement. This is the one that was being played like that. So yeah, replacing nobody knows how to play that. That sucks. Clear Bones, that really does, because it's a difficult instrument to keep alive. So yes, now we have this very odd rhythm, but the rhythm here is the same notes as that very loud siren-like synth, except this time there's no octave displacement. We are just playing the top notes of this whole thing, the overall shape, plus the chords, which, you know, we had the chords earlier in this track. This is very good. Let's see where it goes. And most importantly, the rhythm is very erratic. Like, this is a very erratic rhythm. The rhythm here is meant to confuse you. Like, the whole point here so far has been to make the rhythm as deceptive as possible so that you can't fully figure out what the beat actually is. So that's a cool little bit that Koraii has put here. That it's all very difficult to figure out. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, we're developing this. Very nice. Irregular? It's interchangeable terms, I would say. Alright, and now we're having some of those vocal samples in the back, going back and forth. Slowly, there it is. There it is. The siren is coming back up. And we're speeding up. We're slowly turning up. So as we turn up the siren in the background, we are turning up the tempo as well. So there we go. Did you know that there's a song consisting basically all meme noises? Do you mean the gag quartet, the internet medley? Because that's the one I'm thinking of, the internet medley by the Gag Quartet. I went to college with some of them. Alright, let's see where this goes. It's the same melody, but it's speeding up. Okay, so you're thinking of something else, yeah. Is the melody on a bell synth? Maybe. A little bit, yeah. Let's see. Off the ramp. Nice. Okay, so we bring back the very, very cool drum beat over here. We are getting those samples again of those horror, like I can hear the horror samples here and there. Really, really cool bass line again. Let's see. The drum beat is awesome. We come back to the elongated... Yeah, we come back to the elongated, long melody. Let's see where this goes. Okay, there we go, there we go. Now we are getting a slower version of the same melody slowly creeping up on a new synth. Right now, it's pretty far in the background, but it is there. And every repeat, it's getting slightly louder, slightly louder. Let's see where it takes it. The rhythm is very, very erratic, but we're still in 4/4. It could be one of those weird combinations of a bunch of unusual time signatures together that still somehow add up to 4/4. But at the end of the day, we are getting that 4/4. And slowly we are increasing the sound. And yes, one of the criticisms I would have about this track is that things are repeating a few too many times. They are dragging on a little. It's dragging on things without enough. Like the change is a little too gradual. Takes a little too long to enact. Because yes, we're turning up the volume. We could have done this in 2 repeats instead of 4. We could have done this in 2 repetitions instead of 4. Is it a big deal? Not really. But yeah, it can feel like it draws out a lot, because again, when you're making music, you want the balance between what is familiar and what is new. And in this case, we are leaning towards the familiar over here, just flat out repeating. Flat out repeating, which is the criticism that a lot of people would have. And it's not because it's long, but it's because not enough things are happening each repetition. And Lilith, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mosh Pit. Welcome to the day. How you doing? So yes, this music, it's not that it's overstaying its welcome, but it's risking it. Let's see where it goes. Off the ramp we go again. We allow this. We add this extra synth. We bring in the piano again. Yeah, like this change is good. And we are developing the melody a little bit. And yes, here is one of the risks as well, because the motif is being developed a lot. So the melody ends up being very, very long. And one of the tricky things about a long melody is that if you repeat the whole thing, you need to add something the next time it happens, or you are going to risk that overstaying its welcome issue. Let's just see where it goes. All right. Let's see. All right, we take away... Okay, so we take away everything. We just keep this one. It's breaking. Now we bring in... Okay. Like, this is still good. It's still well composed. And now, so it basically ends here. So it seems like, yeah, now we're having this ambience with back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let's just let this play out. Don't request songs yet. Vin, welcome today. How you doing? Yeah, so now we're having some of the chords. We are bringing some of the chords here. We are using the motif, but now we're doing like ambience music. So everything is a lot... We're going back to that ambiguity, that ominousness. And some of these samples are reversed. Like, some of these samples are reversed. Let's see. The song's length is perfect, IMO. I think once you put it in the context of the game, and things like that, it can be. Because right now, I'm not bored of it, but I can see how people would be. Because there are parts that have dragged on a lot with not enough change, which is something that you do need to contain. If you're going to be repeating a very long section, you do want to add enough variation to keep that balance between familiar and new. Because once again, if you lean too much to the familiar, you repeat yourself too much, you risk boring the listener. And Koraii is very much leaning towards that end. Leaning towards that end. Let's see. And there we go. The thing here breaks again. We get the false ending again. It glitches, it breaks, one last chord. And it breaks again. And we let it echo out. And there you go. And there you go. So yeah, there was a lot of really good stuff in this track. One of the problems this has is that it plays the same trick too many times in a row with not enough variation. And, you know, we've had this from Koraii that he does the whole, like, false ending thing. He did it 3 times. So this is one of those things that if you play the same trick too many times in a row, you get diminishing returns. Like, the issue with this track is not the quality of the sound or the quality of the melodies, because everything was really, really good. It's diminishing returns. The first 3 minutes are very entertaining. And then, in essence, we start playing the same trick over and over, and it starts dragging. Still, a very good composition. A very, very good composition with a relatively minor. I would say this is a minor criticism. I would say this is a make it better because the track is supposed to feel like you're in Purgatory. Theme-wise, it fits. Theme-wise, it fits. It doesn't matter if it fits the theme. If it still gets boring, it still gets boring. That's one of the things that you need to keep in mind. If you like the extended here, the extended repetitions and everything, that's you. That's you. That's fair. That's fair. You have your taste. You like this and everything. In this case, I'm pointing out that I liked the track. I'm pointing out the flaws. Because those are flaws. Even though this is designed to be this way, these are still flaws that we are now addressing in the name. Was this designed this way? It sounds like it was designed this way. So this is artistic vision. And Koraii embraced these flaws. I would say he embraced these flaws and he worked with them. It worked with diminishing returns. Does that make this a bad track? I don't think so. I think it was still cool. It was still good. It had very, very good drops and everything. I don't think it lives up to some of the other tracks we've listened to him from him. That's my opinion here. But yeah, there you go. There you go. And don't think that this is because it's a long track. One of my favorite bands is Moon Sorrow. I listened to their album Habitetti. One of the songs is 30 minutes long. One of my favorite compositions of all time is Mozart's Don Giovanni. That thing is 3.5 hours long. So it's not a matter of length. It's a matter of composition. And in this case, it was good. It was good. I just think there could have been small changes here and there that could have made this a lot better. So yes, there you go. That was Purgatori by Koraii. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the video archive YouTube thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Become a member, support this channel as much as you want. And if you want to listen to this without me interrupting every few seconds, I will be linking it in the description. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, if you are, don't request yet. If you're not on the live stream, links available down below to the Discord. Go to the LFA requests channel, follow the instructions on the pinned messages, and if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, linked available down below, the Twitch and the Discord server. We aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. Discord, Twitch, have the schedule in your local time zone, the full schedule. And, of course, if you follow the gaming channel, we have a gaming channel where we put the gaming VODs of our after shows whenever they happen. Games are Basterd, link down below. Same username as James are Basterd, swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. There you go. Really, really good stuff. Like, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. Some criticism, but it was good stuff. Purgatori by Koraii. Good stuff. But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on.